Howdy-ho, Andrew here. Welcome to the Onion Buns and welcome to Let's Talk Oilers. So we got Oilers versus Flames, game 58, February 4th, 2026. So the pre-show. So this will be the final game before roughly a 3-week break from the NHL for Olympic break. NHL hockey will return February 25th, 2026. So I'll not be covering the Olympics unless we make the medal round. Recapping mismatch blowouts doesn't really interest me, and that's what the early Olympic games usually tend to be. There's a few exceptions, but I will do the recaps once the medal rounds start, and hopefully we're in them. So go Canada, go! As for tonight's game versus the Flames, no official lineup news, but it's a safe bet that Lazar draws back in. He should have never been put in the press box to begin with, but he's not one of Knobloch's favorites, so he receives this garbage treatment all season. And Mangiapane will be back in the press box. Jarry will be in net. Those are the only changes I foresee. Tonight's game will be much like yesterday's Leaf game. All depends what Oiler team shows up. Flames are not a good team, but if the Oilers try to play non-contact shinny, it probably will not go well. One thing for sure, the Flames will replace skill with physicality. So I expect the Flames to play heavy. And teams that play heavy have plagued the Oilers with problems all season. We will need more than Nurse, Kapanen, and Podkolzin to show up in the physicality department. So all comes down to what Oiler team shows up tonight. If the team that played the Leafs shows up, we probably lose. If the team we know they should be shows up, this very well could be a blowout in our favor. But it's impossible to predict which team shows up night to night. So let's hope the right team shows up. So a little side note that I touched on last night in Edmonton. Tonight in Calgary, Sportsnet has the Calgary announced team. And that's okay as it's a Calgary home game. But last night in Edmonton, we got the Toronto announced team despite it being an Oilers home game. When Vancouver comes to Edmonton, we get the Vancouver announced team. Why can Oilers and Flames not have Oilers and Flame announced teams for all home games? Because let me be clear, Toronto and Vancouver have the worst announced teams in Canada. It just annoys me. But tonight it's the Calgary announced team, and that's fine as it's a Calgary home game. I don't think they're as good as Jack and Louie, but again, it's a home game, so it should be the home team announced. So I just heard Knobloch pregame availability. As expected, Lazar will be back in. However, Mangiapane gets to stay in, which is surprising, as he benched Mangiapane in the second and third period for a single turnover. Frederic is the one in the press box tonight. I would counter this is overdue. Last night we saw Nurse be an absolute beast for the Oilers. We saw Podkolzin and Kapanen also throw a few body checks. Frederic made zero impact until a scrum with 1:04 left in the third period of last night's game. That's absolutely not acceptable. Frederic was signed long-term to replace Evander Kane. As soon as he signed that contract, he decided to be not interested in physical play. Stopper saying he's surprised as we need physicality on paper, I actually agree with him. But the reality is Frederic has shown he's not interested in playing that way. So I'm not sure he adds the required physicality needed. And just so I'm clear here, by physicality, I do not mean fighting. I'm talking about grit, body checking, moving bodies. Which brings me back to this team is soft, small, and the team's only interested in playing non-contact shinny hockey. And ultimately, that's on Knobloch and Bowman. Last thing to note, we have a birthday boy. Happy 31st birthday, Darnell Doc Nurse. All right, period one. Interesting starting line for the Oilers, Mangiapane, RNH, and Rosevich. I sure hope this doesn't mean Savoy's getting yet another chance with McDavid. Savoy and McDavid have zero chemistry together. Oiler penalty at 18:06, Bouchard for tripping. So back to the Oiler lineup. As I wrote the Savoy-McDavid comment, McDavid came out with Podkolzin and Hyman. So that means Leon will be with Savoy and Kapanen. Flames goal at 16:48. Huberdeau from top of the left face-off circle, just wrist shot past Jarry. No screen, no deflection, no one-timer. This was not a good goal and 100% on Tristan Jarry. 1-0 Flames. Flames penalty at 16:39, illegal check to the head. Oilers goal at 14:46, Leon from RNH and Bouchard. RNH to Bouchard, back to RNH, over to Leon, who comes in and flips the puck over the Flames goalie, who was tight to the post. It was perfect puck placement by Leon. 1-1. Flames penalty at 13:49 for slashing. Oh my God. Bouchard allows the Flames to get behind them. Nightly occurrence. I keep telling you, nightly occurrence. I honestly think this is 6 or 7 games now that he's allowed this every single game. He allowed a 2-on-none breakaway, well shorthanded. Flames play it perfectly and beat Jarry clean, but hit the post on a wide open net. Flames came so close to getting shorthanded goal for a 2-1 lead, but the score remains 1-1. Huge save by Jarry after the Flame player splits Bouchard and Ekholm for yet another breakaway. I noticed this in the mini game. I noticed this in the Toronto game, and it happened again this game. And I'm going to guess this is the book is out on Bouchard on this. Is what the Flames player did to split Ekholm and Bouchard is they put the puck into Bouchard's skates because Bouchard will not play the body. So as soon as the puck goes, he looks down and he's like, and they get around him, grab the puck and go. And like I said, that's 3 games in a row I've noticed this, them doing it to him. Jarry stops that breakaway. Flames only have 3 shots on goal this thus far, but it easily could be 3 goals for the Flames if not for the post and Jarry. Oiler penalty at 5:50, Stastny for tripping. Flames goal at 5:16. Wallman allows the Flames to get behind him. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Gets a breakout pass for a 4th breakaway this period and beats Jarry short side. 2-1 for the Flames. Oilers penalty at 4:20, RNH for tripping. Nothing comes of that. End of the first. Shots on goal are 11-10 for the Oilers, but the score is 2-1 for the Flames. Wow, was that a slog fest. So let me say right off the bat, Flames do not have 1/10 the skill as the Oilers do. That is so obvious and the main reason why they're not making the playoffs this year. Having said that, what is also crystal clear is the Flames play the right way to try and minimize their lack of skill. The most obvious part of that is they do not allow Oilers to sneak behind them, talking about their defensemen, for that breakout pass into a breakaway. Whereas it's not a stretch to suggest Bouchard and Wallman are incapable or unwilling to be aware of Flame players sneaking behind them. For crying out loud, Flames got a 2-0 breakaway while shorthanded because Bouchard so completely unaware of what opponents are doing. If not for an amazing goaltending by the post, it would have been a surefire goal as Jarry was down and out and Bouchard was coasting. He wasn't even skating hard. He was coasting behind the play. Seriously, we are so lucky the score is not 4-1 for the Flames right now. And 3 of those would have been on Bouchard and Wallman allowing breakaways. What is it with big shot offensive demon being unaware or unwilling to pay attention to opponents' positioning? Seriously, come in the comments and tell me, because I've about had it. Whereas with the Flames, they're far less skilled. So they work hard to not make those type of mistakes. Serious question here. Can you imagine how good these Oilers would be with their skill if they paid attention to this sort of stuff as well? This team would be freaking unbeatable. But there's this mindset of defense doesn't matter. We'll just outscore our defensive liabilities, and we don't do it. Tail of the first period. Oilers have the skill, Flames have the work effort. It's that simple, people. Period 2. We got a fight. 12:36. Emberson and Hanley square off. Great fight. Emberson hits him hard early. Hanley battles back late. There was no winners, but it was a spirited bout with solid punches. Both get 5 for fighting. Flames goalie turns over the puck to RNH, but RNH can't bury it into an open net. So the Flames and Oilers are now tied, missing a wide open net each. Flames goal at 8:17. Oilers stuck in their own zone for like a minute and a half. And the forwards could not get the puck deep for a line change despite multiple chances, because it got out to the neutral zone about 3, maybe 4 times, But McDavid's line could not get it any further, and they just kept turning the puck over, and it kept coming back in, which caused Nurse and Wallman to be stuck in our zone for far too long. Flames get the puck deep for the fourth time, send back to blue line where the D-man shoots chest high into a crowd, and the Flames forward redirects it past Jarry. 3-1 for the Flames. This goal doesn't happen if the Oilers forwards just dumped the puck deep to allow the line change. But they wouldn't. They kept trying to pass, and it was over a minute shift. Come on, guys. Quit trying to be fancy. Just dump it so you can get the line change. Coincidental minors at 8:17. Janmark and Prospel at the face-off before the puck's dropped after the goal. Janmark cross-checking. Flames unsportsmanlike 4-on-4. Flames penalty at 2:54, slashing. Oilers goal at 1:34. Leon from Bouchard and RNH. Leon from his office one-times a Bouchard pass in. 3-2 for the Flames. Power play goal, typical Leon power play goal. End of the seconds. Shots on goal are 25-16 for the Oilers, but the score is 3-2 for the Flames. So no let up that period, and that's a good thing. Third period has been the Oilers' best period this season, so this should be an exciting finish. Period 3. Peter Dinklage, Lombard of the Flames, and Ekholm get into a pushing match. It's funny visuals because, Ekholm's this massive, what is he, 6'5", and Lombard's Savoy size. But you got to give Lombard credit. He wasn't backing down. Oiler goal at 15:34. Kapanen from Podkolzin and Bouchard. Kapanen takes a low percentage shot that the Flames goalie stops, but the puck gets tangled in his equipment, falls, hits his pads, goes behind him, and dribbles into the net. 3-3. You gotta be lucky to be good. Flames goal at 13:16. Follow the bouncing puck. Emberson soccer kicks a puck that goes to Peter Dinklage, Lombard, who soccer kicks the bouncing puck towards the net and then gets a stick on the puck to beat Jarry 5-hole while Stastny just stands there watching. 4-3 for the Flames. And yes, Lombard was Stastny's man, but he didn't do anything. He just stood there watching. Flames penalty at 8:42, hooking. Jarry is pulled with 1 minute and 27 seconds remaining in the third. So it's 6-on-5 for the Oilers, and that's how the game ends. End of the game. Shots on goal. 39-25 for the Oilers, but the Flames win 4-3. Well, that was actually fun, but here's the problem. With the skill the Oilers have, games against teams like this, or Toronto, or San Jose, or Islanders, or Anaheim, or Devils, you're getting the picture here. They shouldn't be close or fun. Tonight should have been 4 easy points and pure domination for the Oilers. But this team, even with McDavid and Leon, are 2 superstars. Yes, you heard me right. Oilers have 2 superstars, not 3. We do not force teams to play our game. We always allow opponents to dictate the pace. And that works against us because, say it with me, we are too soft, we are too small, we only focus on offense. I've been saying it all season. You cannot outscore defensive liabilities and mistakes. But we do not have the personnel and the coaching to do that this year. Case in point, I had some fun calling Lombard Peter Dinklage. And for those of you that don't recognize the quote, Peter Dinklage played the imp in Game of Thrones. So I'm talking about how short he is. But Lombard was going to the hard areas. Lombard was pushing with Ekholm and not backing down. Now, compare it to Savoy. I heard Savoy's name once all game. And that was the first 3 minutes of the game when I was trying to figure out the lines. Otherwise, he was invisible all game. And this has been going on all season. And to the best of my knowledge, Savoy has never been officially benched or seen the press box because Knobloch gives Savoy favoritism. You can be undersized in the modern NHL, but you cannot play like you are undersized. There's the difference. Bouchard had 3 assists, but if not for Jarry and the post making an amazing save on an open net shot, Bouchard would have actually been a minus player tonight, even with 3 assists. Stastny just stood back and watched his man Soccer kick a puck to his stick and put it 5-hole through Jari for the goal. Too soft, too small, too focused only on offense. And we do not have the cap room to fix these problems. We need this break, and it's a good thing only McDavid, Leon, and Szymanski are going to the Olympics. So the 3 stars tonight, Leon, he had 2 goals. Emberson for the fight. It was a heck of a fight. And McDavid, he had 10 plus shots on net. Slugs, I'm not going to single out any players. I'm just going to say it. Too small, too soft, and team design. You're probably asking, Andrew, what about Bouchard's 3 assists? And I'll repeat, if not for Jari and our post stopping a 2-on-0 open net opportunity shorthanded, Bouchard is minus in this game. No one deserves a star under those conditions. So I'm not going to give him one, 3 assists or not. Oilers are now 28, 22, and 8. And we're getting closer to that 500 mark again. Next game is February 25th, 2026 versus the Anaheim Ducks at 8:30 p.m. Mountain on Sportsnet. Everyone enjoy the Olympics. And that's my recap for the final game before the Olympic break. If you like this video, leave a like, a subscribe, and a share. I'm trying to grow my channel, and a like, a subscribe, and a share does me wonders, and I do appreciate it. It takes 1 second to subscribe, costs you absolutely nothing, helps me immensely. Just hit the subscribe button on the bottom of the screen. If you're watching this on Rumble, please follow my channel. Always feel free to leave a comment. Please come in. I would love to hear some comments from people on this stuff. I really would. Also, leaving a comment really does help me with the YouTube algorithm and getting more eyes on my videos. And as always, pew 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 and shit. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.